So it can give away 2H plus ion. That's why it is called as a dibasic acid and it's a weak acid. First you put pressure, liquidify, then expand rapidly, you get dry ice. So thus there is every corner is bonded to one more corner and we call it as a network solid. Remove out some of the silicons and if you put aluminium there, we call them as zeolites. Hello my dear students, welcome back to the last session on the chapter Some p block elements. Last class we studied about group 14 elements, that's the carbon family. We started learning about all the general properties and also we learned about the carbon monoxide. Today we shall continue with some compounds of carbon and silicon, that is we have first carbon dioxide. Okay, so first is preparation of carbon dioxide, CO2. In the lab, it is conveniently prepared by action of dilute HCl on calcium carbonate. We have done this in the lab also, isn't it? We take calcium carbonate salt and if you add small amount of dilute HCl or even dilute H2SO4, you can see brisk effervescence coming and that is nothing but carbon dioxide gas which is liberated. You can collect the gas and you can use. This is the laboratory method of preparation. So you take calcium carbonate, add dilute HCl, calcium chloride is formed, carbon dioxide gas is liberated and water is formed. Other methods are carbon when it is treated with excess of oxygen, when it is heated we get carbon dioxide gas. Also methane with gas oxygen, when it is treated we get carbon dioxide gas and water, that is combustion of hydrocarbon also will give carbon dioxide gas. Next is properties of carbon dioxide. We all know carbon dioxide which is there around us. Does it give any smell or does it have any color? No. So it is colorless and odorless gas. With water, it can form a weak acid called as carbonic acid. Now, this is a dibasic acid. That is, you can see H2CO3 with water, it can liberate one H plus ion to form HCO3 minus. HCO3 minus with again with water molecule it can form carbonate ion and H3O plus or H plus ion is liberated. So it can give away 2H plus ion, that's why it is called as a dibasic acid and it's a weak acid. In the buffer system in our blood, there is a buffer system of carbonic acid and a bicarbonate ion which is formed, which helps to maintain the pH of the blood between 7.26 to 7.42. Okay, so that's about the properties. Next we have photosynthesis to learn. What is photosynthesis? You have been learning this from school, isn't it? It is the process by which green plants convert atmospheric carbon dioxide into carbohydrates like glucose. So what is happening? Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of light and in the presence of chlorophyll pigment, you get glucose, oxygen gas is liberated and water is formed. Thus, carbon dioxide can be obtained as a solid in the form of dry ice. So these are all in the gaseous state what we learned. If you want it in the form of a solid, it is there as dry ice. By allowing it to liquidify carbon dioxide and expand rapidly. First you put pressure, liquidify, then expand rapidly, you get dry ice. That is the solid form of carbon dioxide. Okay. Next is the uses of carbon dioxide. Dry ice is used as refrigerant for ice creams and frozen food. Gaseous carbon dioxide is extensively used in carbonated soft drinks like anything, any carbonated soft drink you can take, Coke, Pepsi, Fanta, whatever, any carbonated drinks, it is having carbon dioxide dissolved in the soft drink. Then being heavy and non-supporter of combustion, it is used in fire extinguisher. A substantial amount of carbon dioxide is used in manufacture of urea. Okay, so these are the uses of carbon dioxide. Next we have silicon dioxide, SiO2, the first compound of silicon. Silicon dioxide is a network solid. Now, why do we call silicon dioxide as a network solid? It is because silicon atom is tetrahedrally surrounded by oxygen atom, that is 4 oxygen atom, and 4 oxygen atoms is again bonded to 4 silicon atoms. So thus there is every corner is bonded to one more corner, and we call it as a network solid. Okay, so looks like a giant molecule, an 8-membered ring in which there is an alternate of silicon and oxygen, which you can see here. Here you can see silicon with 4 oxygen atom. All the 4 oxygen atom is again bonded to silicon atoms. If you take one ring, for example, this is one ring if you consider, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-membered ring it is, alternate silicon, oxygen, silicon, oxygen, silicon, oxygen, silicon, oxygen, alternating with silicon and oxygen. That's why we call it as a network solid. SiO2 alone as a single molecule, it does not exist. Okay. Also, the silicon dioxide can be attacked by hydrogen fluoride and NaOH. So with NaOH it forms Na2SiO3 and water. With hydrogen fluoride it forms silicon fluoride and water. Okay, so this is the main property of silicon dioxide. Next, uses of silicon dioxide, if you see, extensively used, that is in quartz. Okay, quartz is extensively used in electric material like making clocks and also in modern radios and television. Also, silica gel is used as a drying agent. We know, we have seen the silica gel packets, isn't it? So it is used as a drying agent, as a supporter for chromatographic materials, and also it is used as a catalyst. Also, Kesselgar, okay, an amorphous form of silica is used in the filtration plants. So this is the use of silicon dioxide. Next we have silicones. What are silicones? Silicones are organosilicon polymeric compounds. Okay, they contain SiO-Si linkage, and they have a general formula of R2SiO n number of times, where the repeating unit is R2SiO bond. Okay, you can see here, if I take methyl chloride, treat it with silicon in the presence of copper powder at 573 Kelvin, we get R2, that is, here you can see CH3 twice, SiCl2. What is happening for silicon? We have CH3, CH3, Cl2, which is bonded. Now further, this is treated with water. Chlorine gets substituted with OH groups. And further, this molecule, you can see SiOH R, 2 OH groups and R, 2 OH groups and R. What will happen? Polymerization takes place to remove water molecule. Okay, from here also we have water molecules which is removed. So you have R2SiO n number of times which is repeating. We call that as silicone. Okay, so that's about what is silicone and how is it prepared. Next is silicates. What is the meaning of silicate? Basic building unit of all silicate is SiO4 4 minus charge. So what are silicates? It contains SiO4 4 minus ion. In silicates, there is a discrete unit present, or a number of such units are joined together via corners sharing 2, 3, 4 oxygen atom per silicate unit. If all the 4 corners are shared with the other tetrahedral units, a 3-dimensional network structure. So you can imagine this is silicon which is present, the small dot. I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 oxygen atoms, and it has got the negative charge. So it is SiO4 4 minus, and every corner can be linked with one another. You can imagine there are all the tetrahedrons which are linked with one another, then we form silicates. Okay. Next we have zeolites. What are zeolites? Aluminosilicates are formed when few silicon atoms are replaced with aluminium in a three-dimensional network of SiO2. So we learned the SiO2 three-dimensional structure. Remove out some of the silicons and if you put aluminium there, we call them as zeolites. Okay. Zeolites are used as catalyst in petrochemical industries for cracking of hydrocarbon and isomerization. ZSM5 is used to convert alcohol directly to gasoline. So what is it? To convert alcohol to gasoline, we use the zeolite ZSM5. Okay. Hydrated zeolites are used in ion exchange softening or of hard water. So if you want to soften hard water by ion exchange method, we can use zeolites there. That is hydrated zeolites. Okay. So next class, I'll be starting with a new chapter, redox reaction. A very important chapter. So see you next class. Thank you, my dear children. Stay tuned. Stay focused.